Hello, I am Nazeeg Haneshian from Horizon Weekly, and today we are lucky to be with Honourable Rachael Harder, who is the Member of Parliament of Lethbridge. Rachael, thank you for being with us today.
It's my pleasure. Thanks so much for having me.
Rachael was elected to represent the riding of Lethbridge in 2015 federal elections and again re-elected in 2019. In August of 2017, Rachael was appointed by the leader of the official opposition, Andrew Scheer, to serve as the Shadow Minister for Status of Women. In this role, she continues to use her voice to stand up for victims of violence and advocates for the economic empowerment of women. Rachael is also the chairwoman of the Parliamentary Friends of the People of Artsakh group. One of her fundamental beliefs is that our democracy is founded on the principle that public representatives must be rooted in their local constituencies. Rachael, thank you again for being with us today. Last year, a group of parliamentarians came together to officially establish the Parliamentary Friends of the People of Artsakh group, and you were elected as chairwoman of this very important group. In your opinion, why is it important for parliamentarians and our public to learn more about the Republic of Artsakh, the plight of its people, and their fundamental human rights of freedom and self-determination?
It's an excellent question. Thank you so much. It's been an honor to serve as the chairman or chairwoman for this group, and to be able to help use my voice to raise awareness around what is needed for human rights to be recognized or respected within the country of Armenia. And, really what brought my attention to this need was actually a fact-finding mission that I went on in 2017. I had the opportunity to go to Armenia, to interact with the people there, to see, what the country was all about, but also to see the human rights atrocities that in particular had taken place from 91 to 94, but before that even, with the Armenian genocide that happened, more than 105 years ago now. And then, there continues to be atrocities that are committed against the Armenian people and in particular those in Artsakh. And so it really opened my eyes to the need for advocacy work. And so, a number of my colleagues were also passionate about human rights issues and saw the need to use their voices. And so they joined me in creating the friendship group. And really our goal with the friendship group then is to raise awareness around human rights issues and to advocate for the self-determination of Artsakh and to continue building friendship with the Armenian community in Canada and abroad. And so, again, it's just been a tremendous honor to be able to serve as the chairwoman for that group.
Globally, far too often, we see democracy and the fundamental human rights of people under threat. You have been to Artsakh, and you mentioned that with your fact-finding mission in the past, and witnessed the democratic nation building in the process taking place there currently. What can you say about your impressions of that trip? And maybe you could tell us a bit more how that helped you understand the situation better by being there.
Yeah, for sure. So as said, I had the opportunity to go in 2017 and just put my boots on the ground and really experience the country for what it is. And it was just amazing, the culture, the food, the language, the hospitality, the geography, all of it taken together was this incredible experience. And I was certainly warmly welcomed and very well taken care of during my time there, and just so appreciated my interactions with the Armenian people. During my time there, I had the opportunity to see the impact of the all-out war, really, that was launched on Artsakh by Azerbaijan in 1991. Now, we know that a ceasefire was reached in 1994, but we know that there continue to be crimes against humanity that are committed still. And unfortunately, those don't get out to the world. Instead, we're fairly ignorant, I think, to some of the realities there. But during my time there, I had a chance to put my boots on the ground and just really see firsthand what took place. And one scenario that will forever be etched in my memory is a house that I went into where there was, this is a house where civilians lived. It was actually grandparents who were living with their grandchild, and I walked through the house, and in the living room, or where the living room should have been, there was blood stains on the wood. And then I walked into where a bedroom would have been, and there was still an old mattress there, and there were bullet holes in the mattress and blood still on the mattress. And so just to be in that home and to see that with my own eyes, I think was quite sobering for me to realize the atrocities that were taking place, the crimes against humanity that had taken place. And the reality is that, that period of time from 91 to 94 was quite horrendous, but it was also a reflection of something that happened many years earlier. And of course, that is the Armenian genocide. And on April 24th of this year, we observed the 105th anniversary of that. And so, I think we have to understand the history and what happened, and understand just how despised the Armenian people are, and in particular, those who call Artsakh home and are pursuing their independence or their self-determination. And there really is no reason. They're a peaceful people, and again, I think really deserve our advocacy. And so for me, I walked away from the trip just being really impressed by people, their humility, their hospitality, again, the culture and their way of life. And it's certainly my honor and my deep privilege to be able to advocate on behalf of them.
And your voice is appreciated, especially in times of aggression, and to see it all, I'm sure it was very sobering to see that as well.
Absolutely.
Since your election as Member of Parliament, you have been a champion of women's empowerment and women's rights. You have also served as the opposition critic for the status of women during the 42nd Parliament. Why is it important for women to get more involved in politics, and what is your message to young women in Canada today?
I really appreciate the question, because I think both women and men have something really beautiful and unique to contribute to government. And it is important. It is important for women from all backgrounds to get involved in government, in Canada, here in Parliament. I believe that it strengthens us. I believe that having different perspectives at the decision-making table is of benefit to the entire population. Canada is made up of roughly 50% women and 50% men. And so why shouldn't we have, representation from both sexes at the table? And where possible, I think, we should try to get to a place where that is reflective of the Canadian population in terms of percentage as well. And if we can reach that place where men and women are able to respect one another and honor their differences and celebrate their uniquenesses and feel free and confident to bring their perspective forward, I really believe that Parliament will be a place where robust and meaningful discussions take place, and the Canadian people are ultimately served really well. So I think young women do need to run. I think they need to put themselves out there and allow their name to be on a ballot. And I recognize that can be a little risky at times. It can feel maybe a little scary or a little daunting. And that's where I think, other women and men need to come around them and really be their champions, help build their campaigns, help fundraise for them, help promote them within the community in order to expand their networks, and really give them the best chance possible to win their seat. And again, because it's so important that we would have their voice in Canada's Parliament, being able to speak out on behalf of the Canadian population.
Absolutely, and certainly our strength does lie in our diversity. So very well said on that. And Rachel, we thank you for your time to speak with us today. We're very lucky to have a leader like yourself who continues to advocate for human rights and fundamental freedoms. So thank you for being with us today. Appreciate that.
My pleasure. Thanks again for having me.